By now, it should be obvious that I am a huge cinephile. And what does every cinephile need? An excellent way to watch their media. What does that mean exactly? Well, for starters, a great TV is required, but movies and media are only 50% video. The other 50% is the audio. So you also need an excellent sound system. With all that in mind, I thought now would be an excellent time to give you guys a little preview of my setup and explain some of my settings and just see what you guys think of it. Let's go take a look. Oh, shoot. Yeah, we are going to need this camera. Let's go. For starters, let's not judge my wires too much. As much of a cinephile as I am, I never claimed that I was an expert at cord management. My TV is a 77-inch LG C1 OLED. I have been an LG fan for many years, and I have been using OLED for at least 7 years now, and I am totally in love with this technology. In my opinion, it is the superior technology when it comes to picture quality. If you don't know what an OLED TV is, well, let me explain it to you. It stands for Organic Light Emitting Diodes. And what makes that different than in typical LED TV? Well, with a typical LED TV, you have lights that are behind the panel, and in order to achieve like black, they have to turn off those lights. But that never really works perfectly, and it ends up resulting in kind of a grayish look more than a black. But with OLEDs, those pixels are being turned off and on a need-by-need basis. So when you need black, you're getting black. Another benefit to OLEDs is the infinite contrast ratio. It's not all perfect though. OLEDs are technically prone to burn-in, although you'd have to leave your content on for many, many hours for that to actually be a problem. And every OLED TV that I'm aware of comes with some software that is meant to mitigate this being a problem, so it's not really an issue. OLEDs are typically less bright than some of the other options on the market as well, although that is also being remedied and it's not as much of a factor as it once was. So haters gonna hate, but the problems are being remedied. If you have a really bright room and like to watch your media with all the windows open and the sun just blasting in, well then OLEDs might not be the best choice for you. But for me, I try to go as close to the cinema experience as I can, and that means a dark room. Now, take a look at this beautiful soundbar. This is the Sonos Arc Ultra, the newest soundbar offered by Sonos, which improves upon the already excellent Sonos Arc. It offers fantastic clarity, booming sound, and an Atmos that is so convincing you would think that there's really speakers in your ceiling. I know audiophiles will probably talk down on using a soundbar for your main home theater system, but I am just saying for your average person, the soundbar is more than sufficient. And honestly, they have gotten so good that I think full built systems are becoming less and less relevant. The Sonos Arc Ultra truly takes movies to the next level, and it's really damn good with music as well. If you can afford the nearly $1,000 that this soundbar costs, then this is going to be one of the best soundbars that you can buy on the market. And I am not getting paid by Sonos, I am just a fan. But of course, I did not stop with just a soundbar. Why would I? I also added in these Sonos Era 300s, which are quite strange looking, I will admit, but they do elevate the sound system in a very big way. As you can see, I have them mounted to the wall using this mount, and it does stick out a bit from the wall. So to mitigate people walking into my speakers and breaking my shit, I added these decorations to force people to walk around it. You gotta be creative when you're presented a challenge. You just gotta be creative. They might look obnoxious, but trust me, they are worth every penny, and they're worth the hassle of trying to make people not run into them. And of course, tucked into this corner is the Sonos Sub. I found that in my room, the corner delivers the best and most even bass distribution. So that's why I chose that spot. It is kind of a shame because I do love the way this sub looks, and I would love to have it front and center, but you do lose a little bit of that bass response, at least in this room. Now here's a question. Is streaming going to give you the best cinema experience? Say it with me, folks. Fuck no. Full-length high-quality movies are huge, and when I say huge, I'm talking data, space, That's why streaming, it's just not gonna compare to owning physical media. Some of these movies are well over 100 gigabytes big, and you cannot move that across the internet very reliably. So it does get compressed in order to make that a more deliverable package for the consumer. So you are going to notice slight differences in the audio and picture quality. And for the average person, it's probably not going to be extremely noticeable, and maybe the convenience of not having to get up and put a movie in is worth more than the little bit of sacrifice you're getting. But if you're truly looking for the best cinema experience, then you need to be using physical media. Not to mention, you actually own your stuff, so there's no chance of your movies being taken away from you at random, as we all know streaming services love to do. And even if you outright buy a movie, say on iTunes or, Vudu or whatever you buy movies on, I don't even know, but those technically can be taken away, and if that happens, you're just up shit's creek. You want to watch Star Wars? Sorry, it's been deleted. Physical media is the way to go if you really care about your media. I try to regularly comb through my movies and gauge how likely I am to watch it. And if it's been many years and I can't really see myself firing that movie up, well, then I pull that movie out of my collection and I get rid of it. I am a movie collector. I am not a hoarder like some people are. Also, I'm sure you'll see I have a lot of 4Ks, but there's also some Blu-rays mixed in there. I have been slowly converting movies from Blu-ray into 4K, but I'm doing it on kind of a need-by-need basis. If it's a movie that I really, really love, I convert it to 4K. If it's just a movie that I really like, but I don't need it to be the best, then I leave it as Blu-ray. And actually, some of these Blu-rays come with an Atmos mix, so you win-win. One of my favorite parts of my setup is the Philips Hue Lights, which really make the movies feel like they are coming alive. It feels like you are immersed in the scene itself, and that just really bumps it up a notch, if you ask me. I have a Philips Hue sync box that connects all the devices I own, and it acts as a switcher as well, which is really helpful considering this LG OLED only has 3 inputs. So you're gonna run out of spots if, like me, you're holding on to a Blu-ray player, a PlayStation, a Nintendo Switch, multiple things, you're gonna run out of spots. The Philips Hue sync box mitigates that problem. But it is by no means a perfect device. It does have its own little quirks. It has bugs occasionally, but I overall think it's well worth it, and the immersion that it adds to movies is beautiful. The way the lights sync up during video games and movies, it's so impressive. It really is just an amazing experience. You could call it a distraction. I call it an enhancement. For me, I love it. And I don't use it all the time. There's definitely times where I just leave it off and just have regular lights or just a plain dark room. But usually during movies or video games, it is a game changer. But it's expensive. I'll say that much. Philips Hues are extremely expensive. So spend accordingly. That's it. That's the setup. That is what I am using anytime I watch a movie or a TV show at home. I am trying to create the best cinema experience possible. It is a big deal to me. This all matters so much, and this setup is giving me almost every single thing I could want. Sure, I could probably go up a little bit bigger with my TV, but it would also cost me almost $2,000 more than that TV costs. So, let's wait for this channel to become a lot more successful before we consider that upgrade. If you have any questions regarding any of the equipment that I showed you in this video or any of the settings that I am using, then go ahead and put those thoughts and questions in the comments and I will try to respond, or other commenters can respond. We have a community here. Let's use it. Did you like this video? If you did, please hit the like button to let me know you liked it. And if you are a cinephile and you enjoy discussions about movies, TV shows, reviews, video games, that kind of thing, then subscribe to this channel because that is normally my bread and butter. Hope you enjoyed the tour. Later.